Here today to discuss Swiss regulatory changes, we have Glen Millar from ASMA. So, Glen, focusing on asset management, what can you tell us that's been happening over the past 2 years?
Past couple of years, a few big changes on the Collective Investment Schemes Act front, which affects asset managers of collective investment schemes, hedge funds and their managers. And also important changes to distribution, those that are offering products to either the public or to professional investors here in Switzerland. A lot of regulation, a lot of cost, and quite a bit of work for those involved in the audit and regulatory industry over here.
Yeah, okay, you referred to cost there, but how much? And more importantly, I suppose, who's paying for this?
Well, I mean, ultimately, it's the investor that's going to pay. Managers have, their margins are squeezed, but it's a cost on the industry, and it's not just in Switzerland. It's everywhere. You see it wherever you go. And what Switzerland's done is really only in reaction to what's happened elsewhere. I don't think they'd have embarked upon this course without other related events like the AIFMD in the European Union, for example, or some of the things that have been happening on the other side of the pond with the SEC. So Switzerland's just reacting. It's trying to protect its base, and what's coming is very important. The collective investment schemes part was the first part of a series of regulatory changes involving a Financial Services Act, which will bring smaller asset managers under prudential supervision for the first time, and also a sort of restructuring of the regulation part, who's regulating you, which is the Financial Institutions Act, which are both due to come in the next 12, 18 months or so. And these will make important changes, again, to bring Switzerland into line. We've more to come. We've had 2 years, and we've got another 2 years, and the next 2 years are going to affect the smaller players, I think, more than the bigger players. Okay,
so these changes affecting Switzerland. What about the impact then? Perhaps you can talk us through this image we have here of the pyramid.
Sure. Well, in actual fact, what hasn't changed very much is the banking law, although that will be modified slightly to bring it in line with the Financial Services Act that's being developed, the one I just mentioned a moment ago. Securities dealers and fund management companies, particularly Swiss entities, the last swathe of regulation hit this group, managers of collective investment schemes and those that distribute collective investment schemes into Switzerland. And in actual fact, the Financial Services Act will extend that to pension schemes. That's a collective, so it'll fall into that category of regulation. The changes that are really going to kick in the next 2 years are those that affect portfolio managers and trustees. This is important because up until now, this group has been self-regulated in a way. They have to belong to self-regulatory organisations that have professional standards, particularly those that concern anti-money laundering. But for the first time, this group is going to be subject to prudential regulation, which is the thing as you see on the far left-hand side as you come down. I'll stop there because the investment advisors, distributors, brokers are, including ex-DSFA directly supervised financial institutions, is less important. But all of, basically from this group down, are having to cope with the costs that we mentioned a few moments ago, and the organisational requirements that go with that, be it having a compliance officer that has professional experience and undergoes continuous professional development, which comes at a cost. Whether it's having sufficient resources, which is a cost if you don't have the resources, documentation, transparent information on your products, and so on. That's all what is new and is what is going to touch the industry in the next couple of years.
Okay, Glen, thank you for your insight today.
You're welcome.
And thank you for watching. Be sure to click back to Dukascopy TV for more updates and exclusive interviews. We'll see you next time.